So farewell then, Graeme Murty. After 35 matches in charge, more than Pedro Caixinha ever achieved, came the final indignity yesterday for the man who redefined the meaning of the phrase interim manager. With 3 matches to go until the end of the season, he was sacked and replaced with an interim manager. There will have been some sadness but little surprise when the players were informed of the decision yesterday morning. Days of speculation about the club's pursuit of Steven Gerrard had finally made his position untenable, his presence one last detail to be tidied up before the new man could be appointed. But then Murty has proved adept at ignoring intrigue about the board's long-term intentions. He has had to endure it through his entire reign. While Murty's status was officially upgraded from that of lowly interim boss back last December when Derek McInnes knocked back the chance to take the job, he always seemed to be the accidental Rangers manager. Despite back-to-back wins against his supposed successor, he was never afforded the historic privilege of appearing, suited and booted, at a specific signing press conference in the Blue Room at Ibrox. Even then, the club were hedging their bets, confirming only that the job was Murty's until the end of the season. As it was, even that was part of the bargain which the board couldn't live up to. Perhaps it was only me, but speaking to Murty shortly after learning that McInnes had decided against taking the position, you were left with the distinct impression that this too was a man who sensed he was at a career crossroads. He was seemingly at peace with the idea of stepping back into the shadows, perhaps returning to his under-20 post, having done his part manfully for the cause. Much as the statement the club issued yesterday insisted that such an outcome remained on the table, I wouldn't bet much on such a turn of events. Things had been so much simpler when Murty was successfully able to slink back to the sidelines to draw breath last time around. Having inherited the top job amid the chaotic departure of Mark Warburton in February 2017, reporting to an SOS call as he prepared to take in a Glasgow Warriors match at Scottstown, Murty won 3 of his 6 matches. He described the goalless draw which he led the club to at Celtic Park, a feat he would repeat this season, as a brilliant crescendo for me, a real high for me professionally and emotionally. Only it wasn't over, not by a long chalk. In fact, his adventure at the club was just getting started. As much persuasion as Rangers needed that Murty was their next permanent manager, so too did he. I'm still making that transition, both in my head and my language. Murty said back in December. My language should reflect that I'm the guy who makes the decisions. But my normal speech patterns generally are towards being part of the collective and being quite subservient. I'm going to have to learn how to do it. I'll have to talk myself into it at times. Which isn't easy. The raw statistics of Murty's reign weren't all bad. They just weren't good enough. Across 35 matches and 2 spells, he won 68% of them, 24 wins, 3 draws and 9 defeats in all competitions. This compared favorably with the disastrous efforts of Caixinha, who won just 53%. But fatally, consistency too often eluded him, much as it had his predecessor. That is what you can expect when you work with a group of players without the strength and depth you see across the city, but when things went off the rails they really went off the rails. Twice leading in the match, and playing the last half hour with a man's advantage, his time at the club hasn't recovered since crumbling to a 3-2 defeat. Harmony, once Murty's big selling point, suddenly was a thing of the past. There was apparent dissent from the likes of Andy Halliday and Daniel Candeias as his team put in a lethargic, perplexing display against the Parkhead side in mid-April. Perhaps the players sensed, from the pre-match statement from Chairman Dave King about how the club were looking to make the best appointment they can make for next season, that their manager was a lame duck. The Ibrox side were lucky to avoid further humiliation as Celtic ran 5 goals past them to claim their 7th successive title last Sunday. By the time the whistle sounded on Sunday, Murty was a dead man walking. Perhaps he always was. But as complicit as they were in letting things get to this situation, by the end the board had no option to try to find a fresh start. Murty has been a credit to himself and deserves his own fresh start elsewhere. And so Rangers find themselves back to square one, a situation where the only easy answer is hard cash. A time-served managerial miracle worker would help too. It is the final irony of Murty's reign that just as he finally has that experience, his position may be going to someone who hasn't.